Hello, all you hardcores out there. Porky here, joined by Rico, co-founder of Porky's Corner. How you doing, Rico?
Good, mate. How about yourself?
Fantastic. Let's get stuck in. Probellum looks like they're taking legal action against Boxer and Ben Shalom, apparently. So, and maybe Sky. I don't know if that's, but the other two definitely are. So I'm assuming Sky as well.
Is this because they banned from Sky Sports?
I don't know, but they're making everybody sign waivers, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it's because, if I remember correctly, it's because Sky Sports won't have any Probellum fighters on Sky Sports. And they feel that it's a breach of contract. So all the Probellum guys that would have signed for them, they feel like, well, these guys should be fighting, these guys should still be, because they don't see themselves as linked to Daniel Kinahan, right?
Yeah. I see what you mean, yeah.
But we all know, doesn't need to be said, but we all know it's a hard one to argue that they're not linked to.
Why would they fold the company if he went out to do it from 2018 or something or whatever? Why would they fold it?
You mean MTK?
MTK, sorry, yeah.
I mean, look, there's lots of reasons to do that, and I'm sure there's paper trails that would point towards other things, but that's just me guessing. I think for MTK, honestly, given the links to Kinahan, I think it would have been impossible for them to manage fighters and get those fighters onto Sky or BT or anywhere else. And probably if you're a fighter, you'd be leaving at that point because you don't want to be running the rest of your career to be associated with somebody that was previously, founded by Daniel Kinahan.
Yeah. It's a bit of a mess. It's like everything's all gone a bit stale kind of thing, and what's really happening? Do you feel that kind of thing?
Yeah, I agree. But also you have to remember Sky Boxer, Sky is a big company, right? They've got anti-money laundering stuff, they've got CSR program, they've got all sorts of things. Like, they have to make this is more important for them than the boxing division.
Yeah.
This is the stuff that can get the people, this is the stuff that gets the people high up at Sky very nervous.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, can I just say, when I did that video the other day and I said there were 9 world champions, I was just firing them out. One of them, actually 10, I forgot Silky Jones. So Silky, I forgot, you're a local South Yorkshire hero. So there were 10 after all. If there's any more, let me know, but I think that's about it.
You might be the 11th one.
Yeah, me. Yeah. Hey, but what, get me a WBF?
We could get you a WBF at featherweight soon. Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know. Like, well, AJ Usyk. It's all still. What's going on here, Rico?
It's just like, this is the problem with boxing. By the time that fight gets made, it's 1 year, close to a year of not fighting, and I think so much dragging on. You remember the immediate rematch clause, and why the sport does this? Like, it just makes no sense from a business perspective, right?
Do you think
it makes no sense?
Do you think they're hoping for a breaking chain and that they make a move in a different direction, kind of thing?
No, I think it seems like today, if you're looking at what they've been writing, is that AJ is going to DAZN and they're going to offer 100 million for this fight.
They're going to offer him how much?
100 million. They're going to pay through the nose to get this fight on DAZN.
Who's going to pay through the nose?
DAZN, 100 million for this fight. That's what the media is reporting. But what other option does DAZN have? Like, how are they going to get subscribers? They've been running for however many months, a year now, right? They haven't really put on great fights. They probably haven't got their subscriber numbers up. If anything, they probably lost subscribers. So I think this is like they Hail Mary as you're wearing a Minnesota Vikings shirt. So this is the Hail Mary. They get this fight and they get people subscribed. Like they don't really have any other options.
Yeah. Interesting, mate. Interesting. Robert Garcia. Robert Garcia, what do you think?
I mean, he's in the camp, right? So I think with any trainer, right, a fighter needs to be happy with their choice and comfortable. Like, I've never seen the guy in the gym. I've seen a lot of his fighters. He probably did his best work with his brother, Mikey Garcia. It's just an appointment, isn't it?
Yeah, do you think he's a good choice? Because he's never trained in heavyweight, has he?
Yeah, but do you need to be trained? I mean, do you need to be training heavyweights? Has Sugar Hill trained heavyweights before?
I don't know.
I don't think so. Sugar Hill trained Andy Lee, Adonis Stevenson. He was around Emmanuel Stewart when he trained heavyweights, but you know, it's boxing at the end of the day.
We're going to see if proofs in pudding, aren't we?
Yeah, look, one camp is only one thing, isn't it? Like one camp, you don't get the instant results. Like in my view, he still should be able to beat Usyk. Usyk's a small man, so I still think he should be able to beat him. So if he's on his game that day, but the shambles that was in the corner last time, it can't be any worse than that, right?
Oh yeah. Okay. Tom Little's coming back.
I mean, did you see the interview? Guy's slurring his speech.
Coming back, he's putting division on notice.
Wow. I think he's fighting on some exhibition fight and then he's trying to get Dave Allen fight. The white wino. The white wino.
Tom Little against Dave Allen. Who do you think could win that?
Probably Dave Allen. Less shot to bets.
Dave Allen would be a favourite in that one, eh?
Tom Little was never, he was an IFL character. He was never a good fighter, was he?
Yeah.
What's Tom Little's best win?
I don't know, really, to be honest. I couldn't tell you. I know he's famous for his losses, isn't he? I suppose he's been in with big punches, hasn't he, and that.
Hamil Sokolovsky, maybe? Just looking at box track. The guy has 10 fights, 10 wins, 3 of those knockouts, 9 losses, 6 times knocked out. So he's 10-9. And he's getting all the profile because he's supposedly this funny guy. You're telling me they can't spit out a better fighter? You know, he's talking about British title. The guy needs to work his way up to that British title level.
Yeah. What about Dennis and Natasha Jonas as back and forth on Twitter? Did you see it?
Yeah, you know what? With Natasha Jonas, I feel like it's probably one of those things that Joe G, people don't want to work with Joe G because he does the best for fighters and he doesn't kiss anybody's backside. So Tasha doesn't get the opportunities she should be getting, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Hannah ranking fights, yeah, it would be interesting. But Tasha would beat him, wouldn't she? I mean, Tasha's miles above Hannah ranking. Tasha should be fighting for another world title.
What about Dylan White saying that he's back and will fight Wilder?
We heard this before. Wilder's a coward. He's a bum. He's scared of, you know, I mean, Dillian White just begs belief. People actually buying into what this fool is saying.
Chisora fighting, what's it called? I forgot the guy's name now. Pula match. What do you think to that?
Why is it combined age of 80 or something?
Couple of months, yeah, they're nearly 80 combined age, isn't it?
I mean, Chisora, who wants to see him fight again? I don't mind him if he fought at British level, but, you know, out of his last, let's do the maths. Out of his last 10 fights, he's 5-5.
Oh, Chisora. God, he still keeps getting airtime, doesn't he?
His best win is Pricey. Out of his last 10 fights.
David Price. What about? Sorry, go on.
I mean, he lost to Caballel, he lost to White, he lost to Usyk, he lost to Parker twice. He lost. I mean, yeah, he's lost to Pulev before. I don't really, Pulev's no guy that excites me. He's 41 years old. Zora's 38 years old. How is this a fight that anybody in the division cares about? At least match Chisora against Joe Joyce or, somebody like a Hugh Fury or somebody that we can benchmark these Dubois. I want to be benchmarking young British fighters and see where they are. Not faded fighter Pulev versus faded fighter Chisora, because thing is, that fight doesn't lead to anywhere. Neither of those guys are going to win a world title. Neither of those guys are going to be challenging for a world title, or at least for a decent challenge. So what's the point of the fight?
Yeah. What do you think to the other fight in the division, Piccoli and Yoka? What do you think to that result?
You know what? Credit to Billy Nelson. He's been chatting a lot, right? He's been chatting a lot about Piccoli, and
we've got to give Billy Nelson a salute, haven't we?
Yeah, but he's
I don't mind Billy Nelson, to be honest. I know Terry don't get on with him, does he?
Billy Nelson's very opinionated. He's not the sharpest tool in the box, but
not his class, is he?
No, but you know what? He backs his guy, and he's done a lot for his guy, right? He's done a lot for this guy. So
they're mixed now, aren't they? Then surely.
Yeah.
He's got.
Piccoli's proved. I mean, he's beaten Yoka, the guy that beat Joyce. He's proved to everyone he's, he's on the cusp of world level. So him against White would be a decent fight.
White won't risk that.
No, but you know what? That's the level of fight that White should be fighting.
Yeah. Yeah, correct. Boazzi and Yard, will it happen? We want it to happen, don't we?
Queensbury and Matchroom. Do you think it's going to happen?
No, they've not put 10 fights on in 12 years, have they?
Why would they risk Boazzi against Yard?
She might get knocked out. I mean,
it just doesn't make any sense. I mean,
will they fight down line, do you think? I don't even think they'll fight if they both had 2 belts each. I don't think they'd do it. I just think it's that the hatred's that bad now between all.
Yeah. And Yard can headline shows on his own, and Boazzi can headline shows on his own.
So why would we want to damage either one of the products? Yeah, but losers out, the fans.
If it was that one of them had a world, if it was for vacant belt, then yeah, maybe. But
yeah,
maybe they don't trust Boazzi. Maybe they don't think he's good enough to win a world title. That's why they put him in with Yard, because they know he's going to make some money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Ainey, undisputed. What do you think?
It's funny when you leave. Funny when you leave Matchroom after all those years and all that chat, and you go to Top Rank and you get the fight you wanted. And funny how that works.
It's because Eddie wants it all his own way, doesn't he, behind the scenes?
Yeah, I mean, look. How many fighters end up leaving? You know, Canelo had to go on the other side of the street to fight against Plants, and Haney was being shut out, and they couldn't even make the Garcia fight or any other of these fights. So when you, with a promoter that's a British promoter trying to make in America with a big mouth, you don't necessarily get the fights you should be getting. And you know what? Haney can now be made into a star in the US.
Yeah. Fury says he's retired, is he?
Well, if you believe anything that comes out of that man's mouth, then so be it. But I highly doubt it. I mean, look, Fury has a few big paydays in him. I reckon he'll fight against the winner of Usyk and Joshua, especially if it's well, it's tricky because Eddie will have options on.
You're not going to leave Reddy's on table, are they, Rico?
No, but you know what? Eddie will have options. He'll have options on Usyk, and he won't want to. He'll want that belt, not in Fury. He doesn't want Fury to control the division because it's such a lucrative division. So unless Usyk pushes for undisputed, it's not going to happen.
Where do you think Bricktop's heading if Fury does retire? Because he looks like he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Bob Arum's not going to be there to hold his hand all the time, is he?
Yeah, I think it's. Feel like they had a window about 12 months ago where they could have really blown things open when Matchroom went to the zone, and seems like if you're going to be ranking fighter, if you're going to be ranking stables now, it's they're at the bottom, and then you can put Boxer and Matchroom side to side more or less at the moment. So it, I don't know, it's not. As a whole, I'm just looking at British boxing. We don't get many good fights anymore. We don't have our best fighters fight against each other. When's the last time you watched a British boxing fight and you were excited or interested in the fight?
I remember.
Yeah, it's. I think it's just a decline of boxing in Britain at the moment. It's just very. It's declined a lot over the last few years when the class of 2012 has retired. 2016 was a bit of a dud. 2020, I mean, they start to their careers have been hampered a bit by the pandemic. So we're in this period where most of our good fighters are over 30, and the guys under 25, 26, there's not many names that you could say this guy's exciting coming through.
But we've got Jake Paul and Tommy Fury.
Yeah, but even like that Joe Cordina win, I think Joe Cordina was always talented.
What do you think to that?
I think it's excellent. Good performance.
Well, did he?
Yeah, and you know what? He's been a very talented fighter, but he's had issues with his hands and everything else. So, but even him, he's like 30, right? Part of the challenge has always been that these guys win their world titles when they're the back end of their career. So now even just looking at, I mean, the youngest guy that we have that's that's at world level is probably Sonny Edwards. Then if you're looking at just BoxRec, some of these other guys, you've got their own Richards at 20 and are interested. Actually, he's 29. Isaac Dogbo doesn't even fight in this country. Who else do we have? Michael McKinson, 28.
He's good, isn't he? I think he's good, him.
Yeah, just looking at, scrolling down BoxRec and looking at fighters that are under 26 that have a chance of winning a world title. Lee McGregor's a 47 in the UK rankings equal Lee McGregor, 25 years old. And Lee McGregor fights at a small weight who nobody's going to be interested in. Maybe up in Scotland. They've got Dubois, 24. He's already got a loss, but that should deter him. You don't really have any fighters. Anybody under the age of 26 or 26 and over, you don't have anybody that's half decent. Sad state of affairs.
Tough times ahead, Rico, isn't it?
Yeah, look, in 5 years' time, you won't have probably Fury, you probably won't have Joshua, you won't have Josh Taylor, you won't have White, Callum Smith, O'Coley will be sticking around. You won't have Eubank Jr., you won't have John Ryder, you won't have Chisora, you won't have Liam Smith, you won't have Lee Wood.
What will we have? Conor Benn?
You won't have Joe Joyce, you won't have Josh Warrington. It's not much, is it?
No, okie dokie then. Well, listen, thanks for coming on. We had a bit of a good chat. What's your predictions for weekend boxing?
I think Richard Riakpo is going to win. Yeah. I think he's going to win by knockout. I think he's constantly improving.
Yeah, I do.
So, you know, he's one definitely to keep an eye on. I mean, he's 32, so he'll move quickly, but he doesn't have too much wear and tear. So I think that's one that I'm quite looking forward to. And he's decent opponents as well. There's Jermaine Brown against Jack Shelley. That's a good fight.
Yeah.
Jermaine Brown's a good fighter.
What have you got in that one?
Pardon?
What have you got in that one, Shelley?
I think I'm going to go for Jermaine Brown. I think Shelley's a good fight, but that's a good fight. Chris Congo against this Formella. So Formella, he's the guy that fought against Sean Porter, right?
Yeah, he's fought
And Conor
Ben as
Ben.
well, and Conor Ben, yeah.
That's a good yardstick. Vin O'Reilly, YouTuber.
Yeah, Russ Gerard's training him now, isn't he?
Yeah. I think
we ride those dad, is it, or somebody else?
Yeah.
Good luck to Russ and Vin O'Reilly.
Lauren Price debut, that's exciting. I think she's the best female boxer to ever come out of this country.
Yeah.
In terms of just talent. Got good style for the pros. Then also like Joe Pigford, he's 19-0, 18 KOs. I can't for the life of me tell who he's fought against.
All right. Okie doke. Well, listen, all the best. And
Likewise.
You have a great evening, my friend.
You too.
All right. See you, mate. All right.
Like and subscribe.
And leave a comment.
Bye.
All right. Oh, Rico, bless him. Nice to have Rico on. Hope we enjoyed that bit of light-hearted banter and that, and how we look at things. How I do things on here. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but no, everybody's getting so offensive, so offended. So offended. Get out more. That's what I say. All right. Peace out.